According to The Guardian, Tesco have announced that CD will be pulled off shelves since February this year in response to people's changing forms of entertainment consumption. Indeed, the emergence of new technologies has replaced some products which are regarded as the shared memory of 80s and 90s generations. It seems that physical albums will never recapture its shining moment. However, there are still some record stores with many customers in UK. What makes physical albums still retain their luster? Why do physical albums have some differences or advantages that make many people still love it? Let's hear what record store owners and physical albums fans think.
Like a couple of hundred maybe a week, so close to 1,000 maybe a month. Not sure. Maybe slightly less than that actually. That seems like quite a lot.
We must sell a few thousand every month.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah. It's prices. New vinyl is a lot more expensive than new CDs. But the week after CDs are released, other retailers discount them heavily when they don't discount vinyl. So it's a less risky format to buy in, even though it costs more money.
And then I asked about are there fewer people than previous years come to buy physical albums.
To be honest, it's kind of like things have just changed. Things have just changed somewhat, but it's always been pretty good.
And the staff Bunkling also said that the wholesales of physical albums also increase.
Increase definitely, which is especially interesting as we've went through Brexit and COVID in this time, and sales are still on the increase. In terms of revenue, it's gone up because the prices of everything have gone up, but we're also selling more units of everything, so sales have genuinely increased as well.
Well, listening with smartphones, well, and like we do in the shop, we use Spotify in the shop for sort of the shop music. But we just have it on sort of a random selection of individual tracks. But if you sit down and listen to a full album on vinyl or something, then you'll listen to all the tracks it plays through. So it usually takes a little bit longer. It's about half an hour to an hour's worth of music rather than just a few individual tracks, which could be just a few minutes.
I don't know how high quality people's headphones and stuff are, but if you want to be listening to music loud, I guess you can cast high quality speakers from a phone and all that. But it's just kind of always the way I've done it.
Listening to music on a mobile phone, you're very limited by a relatively poor speaker. When if you listen to LP, it has to go through an amplifier, so the sound's broader, it's warmer, it's louder, it's clearer.
To be honest, when we took over the business, CDs were definitely in decline at that point. But we've seen in recent times that CDs have kind of picked up again, so we're seeing a lot more people buying CDs again. And obviously vinyl, it's always been popular. But it's kind of like maybe the demographic of people who are buying vinyl's changed a bit.
Still keep going. I mean, I think the recent vinyls become a lot more popular again in the past few years. I'm not sure whether it'll continue to gain popularity, whether it'll continue to increase. I think at some point it will either level off or start to decline again, probably. But I think there'll always be people who will want to own something physical. I mean, there's no doubt that streaming is definitely the main way of listening to music for most people. But I think there'll always be a portion of sales, that will be physical records. For those people who really like particular artists or particular records and want to own them physically.
CDs are very slowly making a bit of a resurgence. We do sell quite a lot of CDs, but we have a lot of heavy metal, which has always been a CD dominant format. So we probably sell a few more CDs than your average record shop.
According to data from the British phonographic industry, The vinyl sales witnessed a dramatic increase in last year, and the CD sales were on the rise for the first time in nearly 2 decades. The above interviewees also said the recent sales are considerable. Now it's time to further explore the charm of physical albums from the perspectives of physical albums lovers.
I like the physical element to it rather than just listening like streaming. It's just like you can physically hold the music. It feels more real, like I don't know, it feels like I'm really listening to the music rather than just listening to it through a phone. It's like more physical than anything else. You know? I hope it stays because I really appreciate that more than just like Spotify or Apple Music. Yeah.
Maybe many people want to ask, it's so convenient to listen with phone. Why some people still insist on paying for physical albums? The music lover Sam give me his reason.
Support the bands. I mean, in metal, it's not like they're not big like all the main star pop artists. You know, they don't get like $1 million contract. They get a contract and they have to release so many albums under that contract. Supporting their own band through their own finances. Like I've got a friend who's in a band who also runs his IT tech company on the side just to like make sure he can put some money into it.
Limited editions, doing an edition with say like a photo print or a t-shirt, that kind of thing. Artists need to tour, they need to play in store, they need to do gigs and sell over the merchandise table, because that's one thing you can't sell digital downloads in person, so you need to have something physical to sell.
People tend to like sort of limited edition things, so the things that will probably stick around are things like special edition, limited edition things, which have something sort of unique about them. Like people like things on different coloured vinyl, or limited to a certain number, or with different artwork on, different things like that. Something that makes it a bit different and a bit unique. Yeah.
I think what a lot of people do now is that they sell tickets to the show with an album. So when you buy an album, you get priority to go to a show. I think that's a really good idea to combine selling albums and tickets to the show.
In the end, several interviewees shared their ideas. The development of physical albums is still on the road. As for you, do you have some ideas? Do you have confidence in physical albums? It's time to think about it.